batteries for a taser? Do you think I'm dirty? What kind of man do you take me for?
Oh my God.
This is the most Florida bitch I ever see.
All right, well, bust it open.
And then it just became dynamite.
You're not ready, man. I said it out loud. I apologize.
Yeah, hey, Kevin. Thanks for the nut, dude.
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
You.
Me?
Oh, yeah.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network. You're listening to Gas Digital Best of the Week.
Godfrey.
Trust. And what you say is true.
Godfrey.
But you think about it, we were talking about the sitcoms, and you talk about the golden age of sitcoms. They talk about the 60s, and, you have Get Smart, you have the rural shows like Green Acres, the Munsters, and the Addams Family.
Yeah.
Then you have the socially conscious ones, the Fred Silvermans of All in the Family, Jefferson's, Good Times, everything, the Norman Lear.
Yep.
But I didn't realize that Jefferson's was on till the mid-'80s.
It was like 11 seasons. It was long as.
I couldn't tell you the last 7 seasons of the
I
Jeffersons.
tried to binge watch. I was like, I'm tired. Fuck, man. You was moving on up. All right, already. They didn't move out that fucking apartment. All right, and we're gonna get
How
back
many
to
how many
what's the-
Lionels, by the way?
2.
There were 2 Lionels.
There was
okay.
2 Lionels. The one Lionel, the one I liked the most, who was actually on All in the Family, Eric Monte. He was actually one of the creators of Good Times. He was actual writer.
Okay.
He had the big hair. The other Lionel was kind of nerdy, a little bit nerdier. But yeah, that one, the other one who died kind of early, he was like really, really instrumental in the creation of Good Times.
Okay.
With JJ, because he was an actual writer and producer.
I wanted to ask you about Good Times because it's a show that because of JJ.
Yes.
The focus went on JJ, just like with Family Matters with Urkel.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be that
No, it
character.
wasn't.
It was supposed to be, hey, we have some silly moments, but at the end of the episode, we all come together. And then it just became dynamite. As soon as that happened.
I love how he has a sports voice for old school shows. It's fucking guy. Then it became dynamite.
Yes, that's right, everybody. Hey, we spin the stacks of wax here. Hey, we're the station that reaches the beaches and shakes the lakes.
I love this.
Zach Amico's Midnight Spook Show.
Have you heard about intimacy coordinators on movies now?
Yeah.
That's I get it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's actually probably pretty great. But that must be some weird job.
Yeah, you're kind of directing a porn.
Yeah, for people who don't know, they have a thing now, intimacy coordinators, that pretty much are like fight choreographers, but for sex scenes.
Yeah, they're like, now grab her titty.
And I get it because like filming sex scenes is weird.
Totally, and then you might get into it, and then like, if the way you have sex isn't like cinematic,
Yeah.
you're like, what the f- am I doing?
Well, like
You need someone to be like, put your hand on her cheek, now bring it down to her neck.
I was
but that
heard
way
about
it's more like a dance.
I was heard about the cock sock, but is that like I just keep thinking to myself of somebody who's getting a hard on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
What
it
do you
happens.
do? Like, do they give you
Well,
something?
isn't that Denzel Washington story where he says to what's her tits? He goes, I'm sorry if I do, and I'm sorry if I don't. And he's talking about a boner.
So I do know I was on a set where a guy got a boner during a sex scene.
I would come. I would get if I was like in a sex scene with like Margot Robbie and we were rubbing up against each other. I would come. Not even Margot Robbie. Anybody. Yeah. I would come.
Robbie Goodwin.
Yeah. He'd be doing Robin Williams impressions.
Oh, Brendan, you're gonna come. So I was on set and the girl was pretty cool about it. The girl was just like, all right, hey, knock that off.
Knock that off.
Like she like kind of pushed the guy away. He's like, I'm sorry, and then he sat there with a heart on.
Wouldn't it be like, just go jerk off?
There's
We'll be right back.
there's a cocksock, and then for girls it's called a modesty patch.
Yeah, like the
which
badge
is essentially it's like a sticker that goes over your.
Dude, let's just.
And then I think Marky Mark talked about it in one of his movies. There are anti-boner pills
Okay.
that I've heard guys have taken to like not get a hard on during the scene.
I would love to hire somebody to intimacy direct me while having sex.
In real life or in a...
I think that would be a real life.
Like a coach.
Yeah, I think that would be really hot to have some like hot chick be like, okay, now put your hand on her tits and all that stuff.
So you just want a girl to watch you f your chick?
Yes.
That's not... Yeah.
If anybody's into that.
Yeah, that sounds fun for everybody, Brendan. Yes, I think we would all collectively enjoy that.
If anybody's into that, let me know.
SDR Show. Let's go.
And now comes lady number 2. I don't know what lady number 2 is.
September Rain.
September Rain. Oh, September Rain's been on the show before.
September Rain.
September Rain. Hello, September Rain.
September, how are you?
Well, hold on, let me fix my mic. So, I'm great, but I want to know who doesn't like black and who doesn't like with hair. Because I was listening to y'all talk.
Right
and I can guarantee you that I have the prettiest, sexiest, black, semi-hairy you'll ever see. And it's so pretty that today is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. At midnight.
Happy birthday.
At midnight, so not today.
At midnight.
Okay, tomorrow is your birthday.
You can start celebrating now. It's
I
fine.
know. It's like we're already here.
It's like the girls that celebrate
What a
their
buzzkill. It's
By the
not
time
really
you
your
get
birthday.
done staring at how beautiful it is, it'll be midnight.
That's a good point. That's a
There
good
you
point. I don't like when girls celebrate like their birthday month kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It's my birthday month.
Ralph,
all
you don't like
September.
anything black. Jesus. Birthday month?
And birthday month.
Hair on
Yeah.
black? Where do you draw a line, you piece of
He's like, I don't like the Black Birthday song either.
Yeah, what the f is
This
wrong?
guy, you know what? He's the Simon Cowell.
I'm going to change his mind.
I'm Randy
All right,
Johnson.
we'll see what
Randy
happens.
Jackson.
You have to start this way.
Hello.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, bust it open.
That's
What
how
can
you
we
say
do?
it?
Take it out.
Jeez.
What do you want me to do? You want a natty light?
No.
You want
no.
a pack of gushers?
No,
Somebody
of
get her the
course
edamame
not.
from the closet.
No.
I'm sorry,
I
sweet.
mean, you could have helped me.
So bad.
Okay, TJ, what's your worst date experience?
I had one of the a weird one that I always remember is there was a girl I met after a show, and then she was this we would go out and like drink a ton, and she lived in the I think Lower East Side, and I remember going to her house once. We didn't hook up yet, but we like made out after like a show, went on another date where we like got dinner and drinks, and then like made out, and then she invited me to her place, and we're like making out, hooking up, and then I remember being in like my boxers, and she was like in her underwear, topless. She was just underwear, topless, and we're making out. And then she was like, she wanted to have the cheddar biscuits. And she's like, and I said to her, I think I was like 23 or something. And I was like, oh, I don't have any condoms. And she's like, so? Oh boy. And then I was like, well, we should have a condom. And she was like, why? And I'm like, I don't, and she goes, what are you, dirty? And I was like, well, no. She goes, do you think I'm dirty? And I was like, I just, no. And then she was like, get the out of my house. And I was like, are you serious? And I was in my boxers, like a boner. And I'm like, what? And she goes, get the out of my house now. And I was like, okay. And I was like getting dressed, and every time I put a piece of clothes, I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, you think I'm dirty and get out. And I was like, okay. It was so weird and uncomfortable to like get dressed and be like, see you later.
How old was she?
7. She was like, I think I was like 23. She had to be like 22. She was like she wasn't that young.
God, so she was insulted, but
It
just
was
the idea of
crazy.
a condom.
Oh, so weird. And then I had, I definitely had weird sexual experiences. The only one I can think of is I dated a dominatrix girl that also was a burlesque dancer, and she had a bunch of sex toys. And I remember she had a taser, and I was like, what's this? She also had like a knife too, and she's like, oh, the knife's for like you put the knife in my throat and you bang me from behind. And I was like, I don't want to do that. It was crazy.
Like a fake knife?
No, it was a real knife. It was a real knife, and she had a taser. And I was like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's a taser. Like, we're having sex, you tase me, I tase you. And I'm like, really? And I was like, does it work? And she's like, no, there's no batteries. To this day, I'm like, I should have got batteries.
I remember this girl.
Do you?
I had
Alethea.
a drink with you and her at the Village Ma. I
That's
remember,
right.
and you were like, "Hey man, this girl's like a dom. Like I'm a little nervous. Like, would you like hang?" And I like wingmanned him.
Yeah,
just like. And I remember then eventually you guys were like on the other side, like, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna have sex.
Yeah, Alethea. I just remember her name saying that. It was crazy.
I remember this. I'm vouching for him here. I remember no, I didn't know about the. I don't know about the taser. The taser was new.
I'm so pissed that we didn't have batteries. I would have loved to just know what that's like, just to say.
You can
it's funny
still
to
do that.
It's funny to turn that on her. To be like, batteries for taser? Do you think I'm dirty? What kind of man do you take me for?
Oh my god.
Mike, did I send you a video on Twitter of this lady who was asking to get bailed out of jail?
Oh, word.
Dude, it was the weirdest thing. It was on like the trashy subreddit.
She put the Cash App up and everything? Wow.
No, dude, it was like, yeah, this lady.
She's in
we
jail
just
right
need to
now.
listen to the first minute of this.
About to go to my second class of the day. Praise God that I'm even here at school right now because I went to court this morning and I have put a lot of information out there in the last couple of videos. And if you're not familiar with the justice system, all of this information can be very confusing. So I'm going to try to explain really quick what's going on. I violated my felony probation with a misdemeanor charge. And with that being said, that has reopened my original case from back in 2017 when I was sentenced for armed robbery at the age of 19 years old.
Now pause.
I did already serve time.
Oh, you bullshit.
No, hold on. So how crazy is it? This video starts and it seems like this is going to be some miscarriage of justice
Harrington, please
on
look
this
that up, what she
innocent-looking
did.
white lady that's at school.
She's a young girl.
And then just armed robbery.
What?
You know, I was just like armed
I'm
robbery,
shocked.
but let's not worry about that part. It's just,
Yeah.
That threw me off.
Hold
I'm
on.
not gonna lie to you.
Play the rest of this.
Hold on.
No, just a little bit more.
Buy her spray tan. This is crazy pussy.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm in prison for this original charge when I was 19 years old, but because I have now violated this probation, my original case is reopened. I've been back to court already for this violation 3 times. Today was number 3, and we thought that this was going to be resolved today, but the state will not come down on their 52 months offer. I am being offered 52 months in prison for a misdemeanor charge, which is technically unheard of. But they are trying to make an example out of me because I was sentenced to prison at the age of 19 for armed robbery, and I was only given 2 years. So in a sense, they think
They're not trying to make an example of you. You're a predicate felon.
You violated your probation,
Yeah.
your agreement to not fuck up again.
Yeah, to not commit another armed robbery.
How much you want to bet she missed it by a couple of days, probably? Because it had to be a 5-year probation bid for that.
Does she ever?
Could have been more.
Maybe.
Does
She's
she
an idiot.
ever say?
Could be 10 years.
No, not for that. That girl, no way.
Does she ever say what the violation crime is?
No.
Fuck, it's another armed robbery, dude.
Can you
Gotta
look that
be.
up, Harrington?
No. She was a nurse and was tampering with ketamine or something. Some sort of injectable.
What?
It might have been injectable morphine. That's what it was.
Get the fuck
There's
out
the
of here.
article is in the Reddit thread.
Oh, that's
Middleburg nurse sentenced for swapping fentanyl with saline.
Yes.
Oh my
So she
god!
was taking fentanyl out of a thing, putting it in a saline solution thing, and smuggling the fentanyl out of the hospital.
I think she's gonna get
By
a
the way,
Showtime show.
this is the most Florida bitch I ever seen.
No
Yeah,
fucking shit.
She's pretty hood.
If she was an alligator, she couldn't be more of a Florida lady. It's fucking insane.
All I did
She got a light sentence, and then she
was
fucked it up anyway.
5 years ago commit armed robbery. Fine, my bad. So what? I stole a bunch of fentanyl from people who actually
I'm gonna
needed
keep it a buck though. That young girl, that little whippersnapper right there, she's gonna bring James Franco back. They're gonna make Spring Breakers too. It's about to be that bitch.
You think? Second? Thanks for
Hell
all right,
yeah,
thank
dog.
you. Fucking love Spring Breakers.
That's your favorite. That's your jam.
It's probably the best movie made in the fucking new millennium.
You know, Selena Gomez got some shit on HBO Max where she cooks, and I watched that shit purposely to see if I could see a disease, and they hide it really well.
Wait,
Her
what's
friend's a bitch.
Here's a joke for Johnny. Maybe she should be the quarterback of the Broncos.
Ouch! You piece of
Harrington,
shit.
you get that? You got that? Yeah.
That's a man's joke right there.
Little fucking NFL humor for you folks, huh? You like that?
Has there ever been a time in your life that you should have apologized but didn't?
One time, okay. I was super in love with this dude whose car it was, who I went to jail. But me and him broke up, and I was like, fuck that dude, he sucks. And I started dating this sweetheart who lived in the floor below me. And he was really nice. He was very obsessed with me. He taught me how to play guitar, and we'd take these lessons. It was really nice. And then, what was it? I heard and then I went to a party where his band was playing, and I was watching him, and he's watching me, and my ex comes up and whispers to me, like, let's get out of here. And he sees as he's playing the show, and I leave with the ex and go home, and all night, apparently, the kid who lived below me heard me and this dude fucking, and intermittently between the sex, like fucking around and playing this guitar that this kid had loaned me because he was teaching me lessons. And yeah, that was like one of the times where I'm like, that was
Jesus Christ.
If shit just got real.
Damn. Holy shit.
Like he just had to lay awake all night because it was so loud.
What, y'all, and just be owned on every level. Not just your girl is gone. Your girl was yanked from your show.
Yeah.
Your show.
You went home with nothing.
Yeah.
And now you're just listening to the girl that you brought to the show.
You have to finish your set knowing that they just left together, and then as you walk in, you're like, go to check my door, it's locked.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit, please, for the love of God. And then you just hear it through the phone. I mean, yeah, it was awful.
That would kill me, bro. Because first of all, I hate the sound when my roommate be fucking somebody else.
Yeah.
When my roommate is getting plowed by some other dude, I'll be like, this nigga's not doing it right.
I know.
But she's saying it's loud with guitar in between.
Yeah.
And then round two.
Damn.
And then more guitar.
And then round three.
You
And
just
you said
hearing-
all night.
And he's a musician, and he's also has to hear bad music, like somebody who can't play guitar.
Yeah.
You want anything from the fridge? Yeah,
Just, just music and fucking above you. That hurt me. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting like,
Hey, I'm calling Domino's. I'm about to order pizza. You want anything?
Oh my God. He could hear I remember that. I do remember him being like, I heard everything, and me like realizing I wasn't going to be able to lie my way out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And he was like, named whatever song we were like screaming, like singing. And I was like,
Christ.
oh my God, if you heard the song, then you heard the song.
Right,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
right.
It's rough.
And you didn't think about that going into it, huh? Do you think the
No, I
guy
was
thought
too
about
stoked.
it? Did you think the ex thought about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he calculated. Because I remember thinking about that. Like with my ex, when I started with her.
with the shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, with that.
I remember writing a joke, and this was a true thought. I was like, yo, you ever have sex so good you wish all of her exes were watching?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Just so that, like, they all know, hey, no need to slide in the DMs, play. She good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What up, motherfuckers? It's the Real Ass
Crack,
Podcast.
you ever smash an old bitch?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was in high school, I had just turned 18, I fucked a 36-year-old. She was my friend's mom.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yes.
Your friend's mom was 36?
Yeah.
What a pig.
Yeah, and she was great. She had big fake titties. Her tubes were tied, so it was the first time I got the nut.
I feel like she was
in the pussy.
She was fucking all of Son's friends.
Just me. I was the lucky one. The one she
How'd
thought
it happen?
could keep a secret, and I did not.
How'd it happen?
So I had been chilling at my friend's house. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was the friends. You know, you got that one friend you always go chill at his house.
Yeah.
Single mom living there, and she had a friend a little younger that would come over, and they would like hang out, and we would drink over there, and they would kind of like let us drink, and slowly I just kind of felt the vibes a little bit, and then we took a trip for spring break down to Myrtle Beach, and they got there later as like chaperones, and she just came in my room, and I was like, oh shit, does she even know I'm in here? And then she started grabbing my dick, and it was on from there. We fucked like 2-3 more times after that.
Nice.
And then
Your friend's mom.
yeah,
No condom.
yeah, she had her tubes tied.
Nice. So you nutted inside of her too.
All up in that bitch.
Oh wow.
I feel like women say that. That's a thing women say.
Yeah, there might be a little crack running around. I don't know.
Oh man.
Mini crack.
What's the biggest age gap for you, Zach?
Oh, when I was like 24, 25, I texted a lady who was like 45.
Hell yeah.
Mine was like literally, this woman had to be like 65. This is at the Cabo Comedy Festival. So whatever that was.
That sounds like where you go to meet old sluts.
Doggy, it was crazy. I got this was the same night that I got blackout drunk and got all the coke on the beach. I just met this old bitch, and I was like, all right, let's go. Let me show you the best time of your life, lady. And she was like literally an old lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to help her,
like a beehive hair and fucking too much. Yeah, dude, she had lips. I also fucked a creature, an absolute creature, on the Shiprock cruise. She smoked like 2 packs a day, and she had a voice like, "Hey, come here, young man."
Oh wait, I saw her.
You know who I'm talking about?
She was on another one because it was pointed out to me.
Oh yeah. And I was like, I was such a savage on those cruises. I just didn't care. I just wanted to get laid.
It was international waters. It doesn't count.
Dude, it was it was bad. She tasted
international
like an
waters.
ashtray.
Your marriage license wouldn't be valid. So
That is also true.
anything you do on the waters doesn't count.
That is very true.
Is that really true?
Sure.
Yeah.
International water superstar.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, dude, there was a time where I was like, I'm not going to look at porn anymore. I'll just go back to the old imagination. And then I just ended up not jerking off. Like, it was it was such a ridiculously difficult endeavor that I'm like, I'd rather just not.
You couldn't stop seeing corpses in your head. You're like, I need a.
That's actually when I came. But I just kept picturing me on a browser clicking into web. I just see my little fingers tightening in my head.
It looks like the Matrix.
Dude,
it's just coming up. You're like, I don't even see the code anymore, man.
That is the funniest thing. You're not jerking off to sexual memories. You're jerking off to memories of you looking at porn. That's outstanding.
I mean, like, I didn't jerk off for a couple weeks, didn't look at porn, and I was like,
How good was that first jerk,
couple
though?
weeks. Yeah.
No shit.
But it wasn't even like a thing of like, I want it so bad. It was just like, whatever.
Really?
I don't know. I really think after a certain point, the antidepressants just makes everything disappear. And you just, it's like, I'd rather not, whatever. And
So
then sometimes you can get hard, and then sometimes you can't. And then when you do get hard, you can only come mostly with your hand.
If the feeling is,
You mean out of your fingers? Sorry. What?
It was worth it.
No.
If like the feeling is whatever,
Yeah.
would there be a power in accepting that you're just like, all right, right now I'm just like not that into sex, or does it just bum you out based on your past obsession with sex?
I think it's not about like the past obsession or like, oh, I'm not into it. I think it's I'm taking it as a sign of like getting older, and I'm like, great, now what's next? You know, I went to a hardcore show the other day, and I was dancing in the pit, and then like my neck hurt for 2 days.
Yeah.
My back hurt. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you look
ugh.
like Richard Dreyfuss, dude.
What?
You're getting old.
At the beginning of Mr.
Thank
Holland's
you.
opus.
Yeah.
You know this though.
We're getting old, dude.
Yeah, you know that getting old, you can't do this shit. They told you that for.
Yeah, look at you, you old poop.
Dude.
Yeah.
Bob Wiley.
I've never seen a
Dr.
hat
Leo
change in a
Marvin?
podcast before.
I have. You've done it.
No.
You used to do it all the time.
Oh, yeah. I invented
I also feel like I've been having a series of mini strokes because I've been getting these really bad headaches, and then I've been jumbling my words and like forgetting my train of thought. And the other night, my left arm like went numb. And I'm like, oh, that's a new feeling.
Could possibly be just all of the coffee. You know what I mean?
That's what somebody said.
You're
drink
going too
double
fast.
espressos at midnight.
You're going too fast. I'm sure if you stop, like the headaches are probably from the coffee.
Dehydrated.
You're also
That's
talking
what I
before
was-
you're
Sudden confusion, trouble speaking, loss of balance,
Bad
numbness
penis.
or weakness in your face, arms or
No,
legs. That's
can't
been
get an
happening.
erection.
Gay
My-
mustache.
My what? Fat friends. Oh no!
What the fuck? I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
That was him.
Relies too much on crowd work.
I like to have a conversation. Fuck you.
More charisma than writing.
Oh my god! What?
wait.
Sorry, we can't do a head nod like we're having a seizure on stage. I'm gonna deliver a punchline.
What's that say? All sizzle, no steak.
What's that same closer for 10 years? Fuck you. Me? All of you.
Let's just pick a celebrity that we think is going to fuck up next week.
Ooh, okay, hold on now.
Who could it be? What movies are coming out, and what things could people find about people?
Oh my god, this is a fun game. Actually,
Yeah,
I like this game a lot.
Movies that are coming out next Friday. So then someone's life will have to be over. Oh, Clerks 3.
Yeah. I think it's going to turn out that Kevin James is actually a really cool, normal guy.
Kevin Smith?
Or Kevin Smith. Fuck. Kevin James is the other weird Kevin.
Yeah. So I think something is gonna come out with Kevin Smith, and maybe he lost all the weight by drinking the blood of children.
Yeah.
He's actually been grooming in his in New Jersey. And he is one of the leads of a sex ring for children. Yeah, it's gonna come out next week. Can you imagine? It is more interesting when it's an unexpected person, but sometimes people are just too easily tricked. Because someone who walks around and is overly nice all the time to me is a very expected person. But Kevin Smith is the perfect amount of regular level nice but also interesting, that if something on him came out, I would be very invested in it.
I'll be honest, I didn't think about it till just now, and I know I was just making fun of Kevin Smith for being a weirdo, but I'm a weirdo, so whatever. But if he did something wrong, I think it would really bum me out.
Well, I'm sorry that this game all of a sudden turns so sad.
If he was drinking children's blood, I guess that'd be I don't know. That's still too much. He's so I guess I'm trying to think of it. Mallrats is an important movie. I think Mallrats is the first movie I jacked off to. I don't know. There's that one fortune teller lady. She has 3 nipples, and I pause it after she took the one nipple off, and her boobs are out.
And then she just had 2 nipples.
Yeah, and then teenage Shane was like, "Let's fucking go."
You went with that over the Joey Lauren Adams scene?
I don't remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did both, man. Maybe I was just bouncing back and forth, So. It's pretty, there you go. That's a memory I didn't need to share 100%.
Well, thoughts and prayers to Kevin Smith and his family.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for the nut, dude. Appreciate you.
Legion of Skanks. Welcome to the
I have no problem at all with Brendan. At all. Literally at all. I've met the guy one time. I think it's just kind of funny to make the joke you're not supposed to make, and that was the elephant in the room, especially with Rogan. The whole joke is that you can't make fun of Brendan Shaw because then you're out of the Rogan sphere. And I'm currently out of the Rogan sphere.
Me and Lewis are way out.
You guys are?
Oh my God. We're in that. Remember where they put the Phantom Zone, where they put General Zod in Superman 2? If Earth is Rogan, we're floating in a mirror in space.
Really?
Hey. You remember when I told you I think he's awesome?
I'm 55. I don't get involved in this shit at all. You know what? I didn't know anything about it. So for me, it's just
I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah.
No.
He just doesn't give a shit about us at all.
He loves Dave, and he does not enjoy me and Jay.
But there is my favorite thing in the world, though, is what's indicative of our relationships with Joe Rogan. Me and Dave and Lewis is the picture we took when we did his studio, and it really is.
Pull it up, Bobby.
It's the best. It really is indicative of the relationship we have with Joe Rogan. I won't even tell you. Just look at the picture, and you'll see why me and Lewis are on the outs, and Dave's fine.
It's gonna I don't know what you're talking about here.
This is one of my favorite things.
If I had to guess, it's going to
if I remember, it was just 3 guys having fun with a werewolf.
To find the picture. Yeah.
He's got a life-size American Werewolf in London.
I just did the Fight Companion. Yeah.
Oh, it must be nice. Yeah. I'm sorry, Brendan. I didn't mean to say anything.
You have a song about him. He's my fucking best friend, you motherfucker.
Well, I don't get it.
That's downright. That's just disrespectful, guys. I can't have that.
We're all getting in on the action.
Well, look at Dave, though. Look at Dave. He's just like, nice werewolf statue.
Yeah, by the way, Dave is well behaved, but that is a pretty fantastic picture.
It's a great picture, but it's indicative of who we are as comedians. It's also indicative to how Rogan probably sees us.
Brian, I'm sure you've been there before, but I don't know if you noticed behind Dave there is a computer of a simulator for hunting.
Yes.
That he showed us him kill a buck.
Yes.
And then put it up back on the wall and said, "Let's start a podcast." He didn't let us try it.
Let us play with it.
He didn't let us shoot an arrow.
He doesn't fuck around.
He showed us every single toy he had and let us play with nothing. I think I point that out, and I think that's why he doesn't fuck with us.
He talked to us as he shot pool, and we all stood around the cool pool table wanting to play with
We watched him drain 7 balls, and then we missed one. He just threw the stick down and goes, "Come over here." He shot a 50-yard laser-sighted arrow 3 times.
Yep.
And then when I reached, I thought he was handing it to me.
way.
He put it back on the rack. He showed us where he freezes himself, and then he took us over to the simulator and shot 4 arrows, killed a buck.
Yeah.
And then when I reached out again for that bow, he goes, let's start a podcast. Yeah. And I was consumed the whole time with how much of those toys I want to play with.
Yeah. Why have all those cool toys?
I tried to play with him, and he goes, no.
You're not allowed.
Well, I'm just a piece of shit. I don't know how to play.
Why does he just fucking show you his toy? You can't show
because
dudes.
He's a notch below a pro. Like, he played so much as a kid.
Fuck pool.
that
I'm
he's
talking about
just
you
like-
can't shoot fucking zip arrows in front of me and then be like, you can't shoot an arrow.
No, you can't.
That's
Because
insane.
there's technique involved and all that shit.
How about the
he
simulator?
Bought me a bow.
How about the
He bought me a bow.
simulator?
I never opened the case.
The simulator has blunt arrows. It would have been harmless.
You're not ready, buddy. I said it out loud. I apologize.
You know what?
He sent. You know what, guys? He sent me here to say that to you. This whole podcast has been a fucking
If
ruse.
he told me that, if that was his answer, I'd go, fair. I might not be ready.
He called me up. Just go there and tell him it's not ready. Just do the podcast.
You're not wrong. I just might not have been ready.
I thought to myself, I either got ripped off or this is my first case.
Wow.
Weekly weight loss shot, a game changer in obesity medicine. Now, this is medical. Enough of the fighting. Let's go medical now, Shannon. What's this all about?
Okay, so this is a new shot that people will be able to self-administer that has the potential to cut diabetes risk by 50% and fight obesity as a disease. The average weight loss was 37 pounds. People lost approximately 15% of their body weight, and anywhere between a third and 40% of participants are losing 20% of their body weight. It's supposed to, there's a protein, I'm trying to find it, that it stimulates in your body. That's the same thing that your intestines release after you've had a meal. So it just makes your body think that you're full. So it cuts down on your appetite.
What's the thing that it releases? Is it gluten?
Because
gluten is good for you now?
No, wait.
I mean, the tables can
close.
turn very quickly in the medical community.
It's semaglutide.
That sounds like gluten.
It does.
That
It's very
sounds
close.
like the smart people's name for gluten.
Yeah.
Semi-glutide?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a glutide. It's like gluten, dude.
Totally gluten.
Yes. So we can shoot ourselves up and lose weight and be sexy.
Well, it's only it's only greenlit right now in England. It's not here yet.
Because the Queen died and it slipped right past her?
Wow.
Why is it only greenlit in England?
Are there a lot of chunkies in England?
There might be. I think that's actually what they call them, Michael.
Well, a chunky.
Chunky.
Oh, look at me. I'm a chunky.
chunky.
Oh, put a logo on
Put
the
a
Queen's
logo
box.
on it.
It's a Queen's box, and they put a logo on it. Castro GTX.
He's a chunky.
I'm a chunky.
He's a chunky.
I need some of that semi-glue.
Getting so swashbuckling right now.
The name of the medication is Wegovy, Wegovy.
Oh.
Wegovy.
Wegovy.
It should be called We Pay Ye. Because it's probably really expensive. What's it? Is it 50,000 pounds, Shannon? They measure everything in pounds. Isn't that ironic? It's a weight loss drug.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
All right, we got a question here from Mr. Lee Bosworth.
Lee Bosworth. I mean, Lee's got no makeup on, no dress.
Good new question. Just wondering what your thoughts are on potentially like doing a secret card, maybe at Halloween, maybe once a year or something, where the UFC don't release who any of the fighters are, get people guessing, do you know what I mean? And maybe do it all ranked fighters. And then on the walkouts, that's who you find out who it is. I know it'll be hard like for people preparing and stuff like that, but it makes it a bit more interesting for the fans. Obviously, it'll be hard for the commentators, but DC will have to get his bread out for all that research. But, you know what I mean, I just seen what your thoughts were on if you had any good ideas yourselves. Double fuck Harrington because you don't show up, so it's pointless asking you. But yeah, lads, cheers now.
How are man? You know, I think he's from the northeast. You know, from like Sunderland or Newcastle. Yeah. That's not his original thought. That was doing the rounds. I saw people talking about that online. And they were saying, oh, wouldn't it be great if they did a surprise card where the fans didn't know? Kind of like WWE, I guess. And then all of a sudden, whoever it is, Colby Covington walks out with an American flag on him and the Hulk Hogan theme tune. And then from the other side, Hamzat walks out. People are like, ah! You know, and that would be cool. it would be great, but it's also you're not going to get to market the fight very well, are you? Do you know what I mean? When you're spending millions of dollars, promoting the fights, booking out the venues, all that stuff, of course, paying for the fighters, flying them in, flying the whole teams, the hotels, the flights, all that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Putting these events on is a very, very costly thing. You want to ensure that it's a successful endeavor. Okay, granted, you could promote it from another way and say it will guarantee to be your favorite fighters. You're not going to know till on the night. In fact, if they did that, that would be pretty cool. It would be cool. There is something about that which would be fun, different, surprising, engaging, but it's never going to happen.
So I was thinking of another kind of similar idea, but a little bit of a different wrinkle. So you know who the fighters are, but you don't know what the matchups are, right? So just like we had this weekend, you have it where it's going to be these 6 guys who, let's say it's the 3 best from 155, 3 best from 170. We say catch weight 165. Right? All these guys are all going to weigh in at 165, and the fans are going to vote on who they want the matchups to be, and those aren't released until the night before the fight is official. That would be sick.
Yeah, it would. It would be fun. From the fan perspective, the excitement levels would be through the roof. I'd love to see that. There's a drum roll. You don't know who it's going to be. All of a sudden,
It's like the Royal Rumble.
It's fucking Conor McGregor standing there. They're like, no way. And then all of a sudden, who is it going to be? And I said Colby already. Colby would be good, though, wouldn't it? Hamzat comes out or whatever.
Would feel quite like a freak show.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. In the blue corner. Remember her from Pride?
It's Yo MMA Rap with Chris J. Gomez and Dave Smith.
Nate getting the fucking tap out at 2:09.
Well, all right, let's talk about it.
That's crazy.
Well, you think that was a conspiracy?
No, but that's crazy.
You think that didn't just happen?
That just happened, but that's crazy.
Well, let's. And Diaz was just fucking really starting to open up on him.
It's crazy. Look,
dude,
11,
it's so beautiful
10,
the way he does this choke.
9, right there. Taps goes in. They called it at 08, but he stopped him at 209. That's crazy, dude. Natalie has no idea the significance of this at all. Natalie, what do you think the significance is? I want to hear a lesbian's idea of what this could be.
I have no idea.
You have no idea. 209, what that is.
Seconds?
It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the very 4th round.
Did they bring him out earlier than he was supposed to?
No. Nate Diaz is from Stockton, California. Stockton, California's zip code is 209.
It's the area code,
but it's not only, it's not only just in it. They rep it in such a massive way.
209 is like what they say all the time.
Yeah, it's like their T-shirts say 209. Like the fact that he got the tap out on his last fight on his UFC contract at 2. I'm getting goosebumps right now. You can't write it. There's no way that it's. There's no conspiracy
the
there.
X-Files music is playing.
It's crazy. You know what, guys? We can do that. We have the ability, folks.
Why don't we? It'll take us 10 minutes, but we can make it happen.
That is an absolutely wild thing.
What did you think about the fight?
Wait, real quick, say all that again.
At 2 minutes and 9 seconds, Nate Diaz gets the tap out. It's where he's from, Stockton, California. They represent it at all times. You're going to tell me that there's not something eerie and strange about this? Detective David?
Hamzat didn't make way. He was told not to.
Are you doing Paul Bear?
I don't know. Alex Jones went on Steven Crowder's show. They talked a bit about libertarianism and the Libertarian Party. What we're going to do, I listened to a couple minutes of it, so let's get into this.
He's the deep state. That Dave Smith, he's just pretending. He's actually the CIA. He's the reason why there's more trans people out there.
And he's right. Anyway, I just wanted to respond by saying he is in fact right. That's been this. That's what
I heard
this
he was
operation
inside the towers and he took him down himself.
All right. Well, let's jump into this and fucking let's break it down and have some fun.
You were sort of self-identified as a libertarian for a long time, and I always said I'm kind of small L libertarian. I don't do that anymore. And the reason is because you still have libertarians saying, well, the First Amendment only protects you from the government, not from corporations. But when you look at and I'm not talking about a conspiracy, just when you look at the 3-point-whatever billion that Amex has gotten, let alone when you look at these banks, let alone when you look at the Section 230 protections for big tech, this is there's no longer a dividing line between corporations, a free market, which I support. These are effectively thug arms of the government, and libertarianism cannot stand up in the face of that.
I 100% agree with you.
All right, so let's pause it there. Okay, so so here's where they start getting into it. So now they say, this is what I find kind of interesting about this, right? Is that Crowder says, I used to consider myself a little L libertarian. By the way, for people who say little L libertarian, just meaning that they're not in the Libertarian Party, but they're a libertarian, which is, I was for a long time, and some of my best friends and favorite people are and stuff. So whatever about that. But so first he goes, well, I used to consider myself a libertarian, but the problem is that, I've heard libertarians say something like, well, if it's the First Amendment only protects you from the government or something like that. And then he goes on to point out, but look, the government is completely in bed with these corporations, and the government's giving money to all of them, and the government's doing X, Y, and Z. And what he's kind of ironically doing here is making the libertarian argument for why it doesn't make sense to view things that way. Like this is basically the libertarian thing, right? Is that you get to a certain point where you realize, okay, capitalists own our government, right? And they've bought off the government to fucking to do their bidding. And that's what you have all over our economy, right? It's basically all this kind of cartelized regulatory capture, right? Where the government is basically bought off by special interests, and they extract wealth from the domestic population to give to these interests, right? But you come to basically a point where you're like, okay, so what's the answer to this, right? So you can't not have capitalism because you need prices. And if you don't have markets and prices, everybody starves to death, right? So you have to have some form of capitalism. So the answer is to limit the power of government so that there's not much there for the capitalists to buy off. And this is what's frustrating for me, right? And like Alex Jones was good on a lot of this shit. Like he was actually, good on these issues, but a lot of more like the Steven Crowder types would have been like pro George W. Bush, pro war on terror, and libertarians say all this shit and they're just completely right about all of it. And even now they'd have to admit, I've had so many of them, just like on my show on Twitter who I've gotten to admit, Glenn Beck told me, Ron Paul was right about all that stuff. I never should have supported the Patriot Act or the war in Iraq. They all admit now. They go, yeah, you guys were right about that. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm not trying to fucking rake you over the coals. Glad you guys recognize that now. But then when it comes up and they're like, no, we can just completely dismiss libertarians, even though they were right about all of that shit. Now we can just completely dismiss libertarians. You know why? Because I bet they never thought of this before. There's big business too. Oh yeah, okay, all right.
I was in LA. Fishing? I'm going to golf. I'm going to fish. I went to the range today, but I got sidetracked and picked up cigars for my buddy. So I didn't get to go shoot. I was going to buy a gun. I bought some custom ping golf clubs. I bought a new driver.
Oh man,
I took a helicopter ride to the Hamptons.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
So what was that all? That was just like on a whim. You're like, let's go.
We thought there was going to be bad traffic going to the Hamptons.
So, but it's like an Uber for helicopters. I don't know how that works.
No,
I've seen this
like
before.
you call a helicopter company.
So you got like helicopter money now.
Well, I did. Now it's gone.
Right.
The helicopter money's gone.
Once you have it,
once
you use it, it's gone.
I had one helicopter money, and then they said the helicopter can't come back and get you. We can only send a bigger one, and it was $1,300 more.
Oh my god!
We had to pay that. It was a lot of money.
I mean, you just went for a day to the Hamptons.
Yeah,
I don't want to go any place for a day.
It was pretty fun.
Place I like to be at.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. The helicopter,
but with no traffic. When we look back in retrospect, it would have only been an hour and a half extra drive each way.
Yes,
but it was really fun.
Definitely worth it.
And I got to hang out with Louis C.K. and he talked smack about my helicopter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, if your helicopter crashed, we'd like stop for a minute and then eat lobster rolls.
Did you do a show there?
No, we were hanging out. It was a party we were
at Louis
at Tim Dillon's house.
Oh,
yeah. And then Louis goes, I don't even know who you are. Why do you have a helicopter? And then 10 minutes later, he goes, oh, I remember you. I saw you at the stand. You're really funny. It was very, very cute.